Scouser.
And we're not going to talk about Ox because it sounds like he too is going to stick around and, take a good view from the fourth row, probably most matches, and collect his whatever it is, 200 or 185 pound a week pay packet that he's on, which is just unbelievable. It's like highway robbery. But there's news out. Neco is not training with the squad. He's home. He's basically training on his own in preparation for a move. A lot of rumblings about Nottingham Forest making a bid. And then also rumblings about Southampton coming in to try to hijack that bid. What are your first thoughts when you think of Neco's time at Liverpool and the fact that he'll be moving on, it seems like, in the coming days?
Well, yeah, obviously he's a very talented kid. I loved him. I loved watching him at the club. I was never convinced that he was ever going to make it and get regular minutes, not only because Trent had just essentially locked him out of the lineup, because as good as Neco looks going forward, he struggles defensively. And I'm not talking about just the recognition and getting back on time and folding back in off of those offensive runs, but I'm talking about the fact that he just fundamentally struggles defensively with the basics. And I think that with Wales, he plays basically as an attacking mid in that weird wing back formation they do. And I think that Neco is going to benefit from a system where he is allowed that freedom to roam forward, and it's a less demanding system. We talked last week, and it's not surprising he's not with the team because we know there are at least 5 teams in the mix for him. Personally, love the Nottingham move for him because it's just it's a traditional powerhouse that needs to be back in top flight football, and I'd love to see him involved in that resurgence and that sort of project of them coming back. And I think he would fit in well there. Southampton, I'm not as high on for him, even though we would. I guess I'm wherever the money goes, right? If we get a higher fee for him, great. But I think the better move is Nottingham Forest because I think at Southampton they've got a lot more options that could potentially knock him out of that lineup, and I'd like to see him play.
Yeah, that was my thought. I think it's hard because I think if I'm him, I'm hearing 2 options, right? It's a newly promoted team. It's not even a team that, won promotion by, they had to win the playoff to get up. So, it's usually statistically they're the team that, by all accounts usually goes down if there is a team kind of taking the elevator position back to the championship. Southampton offers probably a little bit more money, but it's going to offer a lot more competition. Livramento was their player of the season last year. They have the young French kid, I think his name's Pernaud, that's on the other fullback side. You have Kyle Walker-Peters that had a really good season. So you have fullbacks to compete with. I also think that Neco flourished at Fulham when they played in the back 3, because to your point, he's playing further up the pitch and he has a right-sided center back dedicated to basically supporting him. And he's really more of an attack-minded midfielder. And I think that's where he would really his skills would really, really flourish. And it'll be interesting to see how his career kicks on because this is a big move for him. I would go to Forest for the pure fact he probably secures a starting position if they pay 16 to 20 million for him as a promoted side, which is going to put him in the frame to be a starter at the World Cup. And to be his age, get to a World Cup with Wales and get to start 3 matches and possibly even make it to the knockout rounds. And the fact that they get to play the United States gives them a pretty good frame at getting to the knockout rounds. There's my subtle dig at the U.S. men's national team. We'll get back to that maybe with a parting shot at the end of this podcast. Disgusting FIFA money grab whores. Yes, that's who you are, FIFA. You're all whores. But I think it would be great for him to make that move.